in the previous video, I gave you a not so good explanation of how you can find the roots of something when you can't factorize it. So, for example, if you're given this equation here, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Let's just draw it something like this. If it doesn't cross neatly, like a whole 1, 2, maybe 1, 3, 1, minus 2, minus 3 here. Let's say something like this. If it doesn't cross neatly, then you won't be able to factorize it inside your head. But there is a way of finding out these 2 points here. Well, in general, what you do is you see at these 2 points here, the y value will be 0. So you put the 0 into the y here. So it will be 0 equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now now just remember that this is just a method of doing it. You don't want the coefficient in front of the x squared, so you divide everything by a. So on this side, 0 divided by a. 0 divided by a. Remember, we are dividing everything by a. 0 divided by a will be 0, and then this will be x squared, and then plus b over a x, and then plus c over a. Okay, now so we basically turned this into this. The good thing about this is that the coefficient of x squared is 1. Now this is a part where it's really complicated. You have to somehow write this form. You have to somehow write this form in the following form here: x plus something, okay, and then square it, and then plus something else, okay. That you have to somehow write this in this form here, because this form here is really useful for later on. But this is a bit where everyone gets stuck on, being able to write this in this form here. You see, the trick is to zoom into this bit here only. You see, this b over a thing, you're gonna need half of it, because let's say you have something like x squared plus, I don't know, plus 8x, and then blah 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 blah. You see, if you write this as x plus 4 and then square it, you're going to get these 2 terms. But then the thing is, if you do this, you're going to get x squared plus 8x and then plus 16. You see, you're going to get this ugly 16 thing here. So what you do is your eye should zoom into this bit here, and then try to create this bit here: x squared x squared plus b over a x. Just concentrate on creating this thing here. You see, I can create that by doing this. By doing this, x and then plus. Now I'm going to need half of this coefficient here, which is b over a. Well, half of that, I'm just going to visualize that coefficient as being this. Because I need half, I'm just going to divide it by 2. So it gets multiplied to the bottom. So it's well, half of b over a is b over 2a. So I'm just going to write as this, b over 2a, okay, and then square it. Remember, you don't need an x in here. You don't need an x in here, because when you multiply this thing out, let's say this here, x plus 4. When you multiply it out, it will. When you multiply this out here, like this will give you x squared. This one here, the x gets append to this 4, so you will get a 4x. That's why you don't need an x in here. You only need you don't need it, because the x will get anyway. So here, if you visualize this bit, that would give you this term here. But the bad thing is you're going to get this ugly bit here. Hang on, let's just look at this bit here. This bit here will be hang on. So let's just multiply this bit out. If you do this, b over 2a, and then square it, x plus b over 2a here, uh, you're going to get this times this times this, and then this times this, and then the last part, which is this thing times with this thing here. This you see, if you square it, you're gonna get what you want right here, okay, in here. But then you're gonna get an ugly thing, which is b b squared, which is b squared over 4a squared, because top times top, bottom times bottom. You see, this is your ugly thing here. You immediately get rid of this ugly thing, okay? You immediately get rid of that ugly thing there. B squared over 4a squared, okay? And then you add this. Well, you take this thing down. So plus c over a, okay? Well, let me just give you an example, okay? This is, by the way, we're not done here. We are just rewriting this bit. We are just trying to develop a technique of writing this in this form here. This form is really useful, but it's really hard to do. But this is just to give you a general idea. Let me give you an example, and you won't understand it. You probably have to watch another few videos in order for you to understand it. Okay, let's try and sketch this graph here. So when x is small, this term here, well, these two terms dominate. So it's going to be, the intercept will be -5. The gradient will be 6. So it's going to be quite steep, quite hit like this. Okay, when x is big, it wants to do the x squared. So if you don't know well, you should be able to sketch graphs if you watch one of my earlier sections. So we're going to guess it to be something like this. Okay. The question is, where is this point and where is this point here? Okay. In the future, I will show you how to find this point. But for the time being, let's just concentrate on these 2 points. Now, at these 2 points here, y will be 0. So put the 0 into the y. Y equals 3x squared plus 6x minus 5. Okay. Now we don't want the coefficient of x to be higher than, well, we just want the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So divide everything by 3. So this will be 0 equals x squared. 6x divided by 3 will be 2x plus 2x, and then let's just have 5 over 2. Okay. Now the coefficient is 1. The coefficient of x squared is 1. Now comes the hard part. We want it in the form of x plus blah 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 blah, and then maybe squared, and then plus blah 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 blah. You see this bit here. Well, and anyway, let's try and do this here. So your eyes should zoom into this, okay, and just try to create this bit here. Just somehow try to create it. Okay, so this will be x, and then I'm going to need half of this. So I'm just going to say I need 1 plus 1. You see, if it's plus 1, then later on, if you multiply this out, you're going to get, hang on, you see, this times this, you're going to get x, and then later on, this times this, you're going to get another x. So that will give you plus 2x, which is what we want. Okay, the x squared is what, well, we don't care about this bit here because we can make the adjustment later. Okay, well, anyway, so what you do is your eyes should zoom into this bit here. How would you create this bit here? Well, you would create it by doing this, x plus 1, and then square it. Now when you square it, you're going to get a piece of rubbish at the end. 1 times 1. You see, you don't want 1 times 1. So let's get rid of so 1 times 1 will be 1, but you don't want that 1. So you get rid of that 1 immediately. Okay? So you know that overall this thing here is exactly the same as this, because you made that slight adjustment here by getting rid of that 1. Now let's bring the minus 5 down here. Minus 5 over 2. Okay? So now just tidy this up. Write the 1 as well, merge this and this together, because single numbers on their own are like one entity. You can merge them. So now hang on, let me try and do this. Squared, what is it? and then I'm going to visualize this as 2 over 2. We'll turn into a fraction and then times top and bottom by 2. Okay, so this one here will become like this. Now the two denominators are the same, so we can merge. So this will be x plus 1 squared, and then minus 2 minus 5, that will be minus 7 over 2. Okay, so we know 0 equals this. Now keep an eye on x. You're trying to make x a subject now. So take plus 7 over 2 to both sides. So you have 7 over 2, and then this will be x plus 1 squared. Okay. Now square root both sides. Remember that there will be two answers when you square root this, because if I say what's the square root of 25, well you could say 5 times 5 is 25, and also you could say minus 5 so minus 5 times minus 5 will be positive 25. So my point is, when you take the square root of both sides, you will have this. Hang on, over 2, and then square root both sides. So you have two answers: a positive version and a negative version. Okay. So now it's this. Now just add. Sorry, take away 1 from both sides. I'm just going to write it as this, minus this. Remember, you're minusing 1 from both sides, plus and minus this. Okay. This bit's not important, but you could just write it like this: 7 over 2, and then minus 1. You could do it like this, but everyone else writes it like this. So I'm going to write it like this. Okay. Then this becomes x. So x here has two solutions. So one solution would be minus 1 plus root 7 over 2, and then the other solution is if you look at the original diagram here, one solution would be minus 1 plus this thing here. So minus 1. Let's say minus 1 is around here. Minus 1. And then punch into your calculator. What's the square root of 7 over 2? Hang on, let me get my calculator out. Okay, 7 divided by 2 equals this, and then square root it. Okay, and then what? And then plus minus 1 plus. Well, do whichever way you want on this one. So this point here will be 0.87. Let me double check. So this point here is 0.87, okay, and then this point here, I'm just going to start at minus 1, and then I'm going to take away root whatever that thing was earlier, root 7 over 2. So the other solution would be minus 1 minus root 7 over 2. Okay, so the other solution would be this. Hang on, calculator, clear it. 7 divided by 2 equals this, square root it, and stick a minus, and then plus minus 1. I hate this calculator. Sorry. Let me do it again. 7 divided by 2 equals 7 divided by 2 equals this. Square root it. Stick a minus in front of it, and then add negative 1 in effect. Add negative 1 equals this. So the other solution here would be minus 2.87. Okay. Yeah. The hard part is this bit here, getting from here to here. Okay. Just watch a few more videos, a few more examples, and then hopefully you understand it. Okay.